When you know that you are queer, but your favorite drink is beer, that's gayish. You can bottom without stopping, but you can't stand going shopping, that's gayish. Oh, gayish, you're probably gayish. Well, life's just too short for narrow stereotypes, so it's gayish. We're also gayish. It's Gayish with Mike and Kyle.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish.
The proud creators of the first ever olfactory podcast. Wait, don't smell me.
No, I don't want to.
Nope. We've already signed on for a 3-season deal with the Podcasting Company of America.
Oh, God. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz.
We're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality. And today
we're going to talk.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. Let's just talk about life, okay, Mike. Great. What's new?
What's new? We're here in person together.
Oh, yeah.
Talking on microphones.
Yeah.
In the same room.
As permitted by King County.
That's right.
We moved from phase 1.5 to phase 2.
Yep.
So,
getting back to normal 1/2 of a phase at a time.
Yep. There's no 2.5, is there?
I fucking hope
there
not.
Might be.
I hate that shit so much. Have I bitched about that too many times yet?
No.
You can't have a 4-phase plan and say, here's like the medical, like the data reasons to move from one to the other, and then invent a 1.5 to make people happy, because it makes me lose confidence in the whole fucking system then.
Yeah. I mean, was there still any confidence? We're going to talk about gay baiting.
We're going to talk about gay baiting.
The topic, as requested. By Patreon member Tipsy McStumbles.
That boy hot. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
What? That's okay
you can't
to say.
That.
Why not?
That's weird.
What if there's some like real hot dudes out there that like want to give us money because they know that they'll get attention when they do?
Well, then all the uglies are going to feel bad if we do like a Patreon episode for someone that's ugly, and you're like, he was very nice. Then they're going to be like, oh no.
Well, when he donated under the name Tipsy McStumbles, and we saw him on camera, I was like, that boy doesn't fall down much at all. Like,
you don't know.
Oh, well, all right.
Gay baiting. But first,
we have a correction.
Okay.
That sort of. Okay, so a couple of people wrote in about the IAT, the Implicit Association Test, which we talked about in the Gay White Privilege episode, that you can go to implicit.harvard.edu and have it check your implicit biases against things, specifically people of color. Black people is one of the options for the test to take. And that test is not without controversy.
Ooh.
There are valid criticisms that's being studied all the time. There are lots of different publications out there and papers that have been written about its validity or lack thereof. And I just want to acknowledge that. That's real.
Are you going to tell me the criticisms? Or is it not
if you want to go into them, we can.
Is it interesting?
Well, it's interesting, but it's also lengthy. So I won't go into that. But I think a couple of things. So first, it's not like a slam dunk. It's totally horse shit, and everyone agrees that it's horse shit, and we're bad people for suggesting it. Because that's not the case. It's just it's contested and is controversial. But the other thing is, I think that the idea that there even could possibly be a test for this, and having it encourage a person to ask themselves, "Am I racist?" and then maybe take the test. I think there's there's utility in just that, because everybody should ask themselves that every day.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, the answer is yes. Like you exist within a racist system. I'm white people like us. Yeah. Equally important correction or clarification.
Yeah.
SpongeBob has a butt.
He does have a butt. That's true.
We got several pictures in our Facebook group of his butt.
Yeah.
It's a little bit juicier than I thought for a sponge.
Well, and then so his pants had like a swivelly door that opened up, and then like the juicy cheeks were right behind it. And I was like SpongeBob, your pants don't fit then.
Maybe that's the part where like maybe water has specifically soaked into that part, and so it like inflated it.
Oh, is that how you get a bigger butt? Just sit in the bathtub
underwater. We don't need to go into the physics of how SpongeBob works because that's not interesting because it doesn't. Okay, cool. Thanks for people that sent that in.
Yep.
Both equally.
Yep. Exactly.
News.
Time for the news.
News.
It was only a matter of time. It's so good to see you. This is weird.
It's fine seeing you.
Okay, great.
No, it's good hanging out in person and getting to look at you, not on a screen.
Yep. I agree.
Dan is off this week.
But he would be back.
Yeah.
Some people have said that they're worried about him, and maybe rightly so.
No, he's alive in a person.
And he'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So first of all, I want to talk about the Republican Party's 2020 platform.
Yeah.
Which has been more or less finalized in preparation for the Republican National Convention in Jacksonville, Florida, coming up.
Where I think we said we're going to go and like wait in the bathroom stalls or something.
Yeah.
Just to see, or like get on Grindr.
Yeah, talk about glory holes. Let's bring that. Although I would be so afraid of hooking up with Lindsey Graham on accident. Okay. So a couple of things. First of all, they've made no changes. So it's exactly the same platform as 2016, which is hilarious because there are wide sections of the platform that now criticize the current administration because it's not Obama anymore. It says the current administration fucked this up. The current administration fucked that up. It's still in their platform.
Yeah. Which, I mean, they were excusing that because of Corona, that they weren't going to get together and change it. But I also, like, that's the purpose of virtual. I don't know. Whatever. You
expect Republicans to figure out
old Republicans
how to do anything online.
Beep, doop, boop, boop. What? They're the same ones that are like, how do you get the internet to open? Like, I can't. Yeah.
Yep. And it's important, I think, for us to talk about it. Is Gayish and makes the news because that means that their platform continues to condemn Obergefell versus Hodges, which legalized marriage equality across America. It insists in their platform, in the fucking written down, this is what Republicans stand for. You can't fucking deny it.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, 5 unelected lawyers robbed 320 million Americans of their legitimate constitutional authority to define marriage as the union of one man and one woman. The court twisted the meaning of the 14th Amendment beyond recognition. We do not accept the Supreme Court's redefinition of marriage, and we urge its reversal, whether through judicial reconsideration or a constitutional amendment returning control over marriage to the states.
I remember when I got twisted beyond recognition. Oh, I miss it so much, Mike.
You never really recovered, though. Like,
wait,
you haven't been the same ever since.
Ever since what?
You got twisted beyond recognition.
What are you talking? I'm talking about getting slammed real good. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Are you talking about one specific instance?
That one time when you left and when you came back, you were like a changed man because you got railed so good.
I don't remember this one specific.
Me neither. I'm inventing it.
Okay. I couldn't. I didn't know. Okay, sorry. I wasn't playing along.
Great.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. I think people are still surprised that is written down in their platform, and that's why there are lots of reasons that I would be disagree with the Republican platform, but it's kind of just the easy go-to of like, you don't agree that I deserve the right. You have written down that you don't think I am equal.
Yep.
I don't. You are directly, by voting for any Republican, you are directly voting for a platform that doesn't think I'm equal. And you can justify that. There might be a lot of different reasons you say that you're voting for them, but you have to recognize at the same time you are voting for someone who doesn't think I should be able to get married.
Yep. Can't get around it.
Nope.
I mean, and the other, one thing I see that I always chuckle at is the just because you vote Republican doesn't mean you're anti-gay, but it means that being anti-gay isn't a deal breaker for you. Mm-hmm. So you need to get right with that, because that's indeed what that party stands for.
Yep.
So speaking of the RNC, which is happening soon, the Log Cabin Republicans, which is an organization
that exists in a paradoxical world that I don't understand.
It's gay Republicans are called Log Cabin Republicans. They have been denied the right to have a booth at the convention. So
again, right? Don't they consistently get denied?
Again, for the 20th year in a row, The state Republican Executive Committee has denied the LGBTQ group a booth at the state's upcoming Republican convention.
We talked about this with the Patreon like happy hour thing we did. And I think, okay, I might have a little bit different viewpoint of that in that I understand the idea of working within a group that's homophobic to try to make it less homophobic. And I think back to Joseph Peters Matthews talking about like, yes, religion is Christianity is homophobic. Also, he believes it and wants to and is working to change that. And, you know, so it sucks for them that, but they should know because it's in the platform. Like, yeah.
Yep. Okay, great.
Okay, cool.
I don't feel bad for them, but then I do. Like, I feel bad for them in that tragic way.
Yeah. When you feel bad for like closeted people that, you know, stay in the closet, and it's like, it sucks because I get why it's society's pressure, but yeah.
Yep. So a little bit of good news. For the longest time, children born outside the country to married gay couples were not automatically considered U.S. citizens, even in the case of surrogacy. So basically, I'll just read this. A federal judge ruled Wednesday that the U.S. State Department must recognize that the daughter of a same-sex couple in Maryland has been a U.S. citizen since her birth in Canada via a surrogate last year. So the Trump administration had said that the child was not because it was born out of wedlock. That the child was born out of wedlock because one of her married parents is not her biological parent.
Like the biological parents are not married, so it's got it.
Correct. So the fathers say their daughter is being denied the birthright citizenship she is entitled to as the child of American parents because her parents are a same-sex married couple.
I take it if straight people's child is born in Canada, they would be considered U.S. citizen
if they are married to each other. Yeah. So, like in 30 Rock, when they when yes. Jack Donaghy's worried that his child's going to be born in Canada, doesn't matter. You're still an American citizen under those circumstances because you're born to American parents.
Yeah, got it.
Anyway, that's now been fixed. So the judge ruled that the child was indeed a U.S. citizen at birth, and that closes a fairly significant loophole that's been a problem for gay married couples trying to do international surrogacy for a while.
That's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ta-da.
Da-da-da-da.
I think that's... No, okay. We also need to talk about, just briefly, the landmark decision that happened last week. We had a happy hour and a bunch of people came on Zoom to talk about it, but I guess we haven't talked about it on the show, so it's time to at least a little bit. So 6-3, the Supreme Court ruled that you cannot be fired for being gay or trans nationwide starting immediately right now.
Yeah.
And it was a big surprise because it was a 6-3 decision, and the opinion was written by Neil Gorsuch, who was a Trump appointee, the one that stole Merrick Garland's seat. And it's a big deal. Some people say bigger than gay marriage. But yeah, I mean, we've been bitching about being able to be fired in other states for being gay for a long time. We can't say it anymore, Kyle.
Yeah. Oh no! Well, we can bitch about how's okay. Well, what was interesting about when we talked on the call, like there were people that were smart on the call, so I'm like, here's what I think, and people are like, I don't. The possibility is that then says Title 7. Oh my God, I got that right. Thank you. I was preemptively thanking everyone because I'm sure they were excited.
I could hear the applause.
Yes. Okay.
Already.
So. That could then mean that when they talk about sex in Title 7, that now sex includes things like being trans, being gay, being bi, all that good stuff. So it's possible this could extend beyond just employment. It sounds like that's not for sure. Like that's kind of the question then, does this extend beyond employment? But there's still things like housing. There's one more thing that everyone brings up that I can't think of, but
there's precedent for the definitions in Title 7 to affect things outside of Title VII that's happened before. And so the thought is that maybe that will happen this time also, just because that it's happened before. What's interesting, so Title VII, it's Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and it prohibits discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, and sex. And the court ruled that sex includes sexual orientation, and it's really pretty cut and dry. Like Neil Gorsuch lays it out in the first page of the opinion. If I am Susan's manager and I find out she has a boyfriend and I do nothing, and I'm also David's manager and I find out that he has a boyfriend and I fire him, the only difference between Susan and David is their gender. That is gender discrimination. That is sex discrimination, and therefore is illegal under the title. It's pretty easy, I think, to understand.
Yeah, though I think you've explained that to me even before this. You should be a Supreme Court something.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I really liked that way of thinking about it because it made it very obvious. Didn't the dissenters mostly disagree on, like, not on the idea of it, but more like technical...
So
dissent or something?
Textualists, which is another way of saying conservative when it comes to like Supreme Court stuff, they believe that you have to interpret the law based on what Congress understood the text to be when they wrote it. And their argument is Congress in 1964, when they wrote down the word sex, there's no way they were possibly thinking about homosexuals. Therefore, we can't retroactively put it in there now.
Which they probably weren't. Like, that's true. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
But there's precedent to say, I mean, the easy to understand argument that I just laid out means it is about sex. And there's precedent that says there might be other explanations, but if this very basic explanation covers it, that's all you need.
Oh, gotcha.
And anyway, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that was a surprise Pride Month, we just needed something good.
Honest to God, I thought it was going to be 4-5 the wrong way. And it ended up being 6-3.
Yeah, 6-3. I know way less than you, and that was like surprised by.
Yeah. Because like 5-4 splits are like every decision feels like these days.
Yeah.
So, and then last but not least, I want to continue the queer black person from history segment for the month, and I want to talk about Willie Ninja.
No. Bill Ninja?
Yeah. Do you know?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I already love him.
Yep. William Roscoe Leake was born April 12th of 1961. And is better known as Willie Ninja. He was an American dancer and choreographer, best known for his appearance in the documentary film Paris is Burning.
I have not seen that, and that seems like one of those staples that I need to see.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. Maybe we'll watch it after this.
Oh, that would be smart.
So, Ninja is a gay man, and he is known as the godfather of voguing. So it was a fixture of ball culture at Harlem's drag balls, and he took inspiration from sources as far-flung as Fred Astaire, the world of haute couture, to develop a unique style of dance and movement. And
hey Mike. Hey, Mike.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle.
Ball.
Balls.
Okay, keep going.
I mean, basically, he was a self-taught dancer, perfected the voguing style because of his appearance in that documentary, was sort of elevated to the level of being like the face of voguing pre-Madonna. Not pre-Madonna, but before Madonna.
Madonna. I used to think that pre-Madonna was before Madonna. Like, that confused me. But
let's see. The name Ninja came from the fact that he had founded the House of Ninja. Voguing is built around this idea of houses, and that's the house that he formed. It's a combination of extended social family and dance troupe.
Particularly because a lot of people, especially at that time and still today, like get kicked out of their homes. So that's the idea of, chosen family or your house or your mother. What is it called? Like,
he was the house mother.
House mother.
That is the
term.
Thank you for putting that word in my mouth. That's not working right now. And then he passed away of AIDS-related complications at the age of 45 on September 2nd, 2006.
Oh wow.
We always
think about like the or at least I should say, I think about the people we lost to AIDS in the 80s and 90s, but also like that generation, we kept losing them throughout. Like that's such an influential, important person that we lost earlier than we would have in the 2000s due to AIDS.
Yep. I want to put in here, we just have to own it. Black people invented voguing. If you think it's Madonna's thing, she fucking stole it. Yeah. It's just another example of white people stealing pop culture shit from black people and not giving them any sort of credit or recognition for it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it.
Whoa, okay.
That's Willie Ninja.
I had no idea, and that's like one of those names. I'm trying to do better at learning gay, queer, black people from history, and in general, like queer people from history, but that's an important one that I'm glad I know about. Yeah. Bayard Rustin is the other one that I was like, I need to remember this name. That's
MLK's.
Yep. Super influential in MLK's, policies, thoughts, beliefs around this time of the civil rights movement, and doesn't get a lot of credit.
Yeah, we've talked about him before, though.
But I forget. So I made it a point. I had it on my computer. So every time I looked at it and I said his name over and over and over so I could remember, because that's such an important person. Okay.
Yep. That's the news.
Okay. I want to thank Patreon members. Juan Cordero. Got to use my Spanish accent. Acento español. What? Juan Cordero. Yeah. And Derek. That's not a Spanish name, but I'm already in the accent, so might as well. Q Davis. Which I just wanted to be Q when I saw that.
Like just the letter Q?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Q, period.
Okay.
Davis. But I'm just going to call them Q.
Okay.
Thank you, Q.
Do you remember Q-Bert? Do you remember that game? Or the cartoon?
I remember a cartoon.
Great. Continue.
Barely. In that I've heard that. Anyway, Alex Claus.
Oh.
The Alex Claus. You can... Alex, what is the clause? What's allowed because you're Alex?
Yeah.
And Arthur.
Just Arthur.
Guess what, Mike?
Hey, Kyle.
Oh, hey, Mike.
Was it Arthur the Aardvark from that cartoon?
No, that's the Polari word of the week. I snuck it in a different place than usual.
Oh, great.
The word Arthur means, this is relevant to the topic, barely, masturbate.
Oh, neat.
It's
Arthur.
Arthur.
Like, is it a verb? Like, I'm going to go Arthur right now?
Intransitive verb. Wait. Is that how? V-I? Intransitive. Is that a thing? Intransitive? It feels like you're on a bus.
I mean, a transitive verb is a
transitive. I don't know. Then yes, it's a verb. I don't know why I tried to elaborate. Yes, it's a verb. To Arthur. I'm going to Arthur. Go Arthur in the corner.
I've been Arthuring so much in quarantine.
God, right? I've seen all the porn. Thank you to all of our Patreon members. If you want a bonus episode and a bonus thing and shirts, I don't know why this is so great. You can get high quality shit like this. Patreon.com/Gayish podcast.
Yeah.
Should we do the episode?
Yeah, sure. Let's get to that.
Okay. This is about gay baiting.
Gay baiting.
Can I start?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. Do you have Gata on oh God. Gata on bait gating?
Nope.
Gata on gay baiting.
I think you did it.
Oh, fuck. I'm just going to Arthur. Never mind.
Wait till I leave. Okay, so I'm going to tell you both define gay baiting and vague data later, but not right now. I'm going to tell you both about gay baiting, that definition, and also other baiting, just so we know what it's not.
Oh,
so
sure.
On
Okay.
Urban Dictionary,
okay,
I looked up all the different baitings that I could find.
This bit should get a name and maybe a theme song I won't write.
Urban Dictionary. No, that can just be the Mike hasn't written a theme song. No, it needs to be something more interesting. If you have an idea for what this is called, let us know. I don't know. Gay baiting is a straight person, according to Urban Dictionary, a straight person outwardly welcoming flirtatious behavior from homosexuals of the same gender. Oh, gotcha. Okay, that confused me at first because I'm thinking dudes because that's how I do. Flirtatious behavior from homosexuals of the same gender in order to receive validation and entertainment will often play the line of being flirtatious in return, but once it becomes physical, the gay baiter will retract and continually assert their heterosexuality. Whoa, what? What?
Yeah, I mean, like that's the stereotype or the trope or whatever, right? The straight guy that loves to hang out at the gay bar and like loves it until he gets hit on, and then he's like, oh wait,
or might be down to like get hit on, enjoys that, but then you try to make out with him, and then he says, "No, Kyle, I don't want that," and then throws his drink in your face, and you have to go home all wet and sad.
Yeah,
I assume
that's
the definition. Probably. Call me Jeremy if you change your mind. Okay, other baits.
Great. Okay.
Bait.
I
didn't know this. This is like a pretty popular one.
B-A-I-T or B-A-T-E?
B-A-I-T.
Okay.
When something is made blatantly obvious. For example, it was so bait that you stole my phone. Never heard that, but lots of people voted for that. So
okay,
cool.
Okay.
Teens.
I mean, I was thinking like clickbait or like.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay, great.
But I mean, yes, but that's another thing. Baiting, masturbating. So,
yeah.
Or Arthuring. Arthur.
Yeah. Arthurin. I'm just Arthurin.
Oh, that sounds like you have joint pain. I'm Arthurin. I keep cracking my knuckles, so I have Arthurin. Bro baiting.
Okay.
Jerking off with your bro.
Oh my God. So many people seem to think that that's what happened in my fraternity, and they just will
and
not.
It did. Don't say any more.
Great.
It never did?
No.
Never?
No.
Never? You can't say that definitively.
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, because they knew you're gay.
I don't think so. Maybe they did.
I just want it so bad. Okay. Baiting call. A male who thinks he's making progress with a girl he's trying to fuck. He's trying to make a baiting call happen, not a mating call. So he's trying to hook up with a girl, and it's not a mating call. He's trying to. He thinks he's making progress, so it's a baiting call.
Okay.
There is this one won't come off as cool when you're because I'm saying it, not writing it. But great bait mate, but like. The eights are eights. Yeah, so GR8, B8, and 8. And that's used like if someone's obviously trolling you or trying to say something to like, oh, my favorite character is Jar Jar Binks.
Great bait mate.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of that? You seem to...
No.
Oh, okay.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, you just rolled with it. And lastly, raw bait, which is... better than it even sounds. When you show someone only your raw dick to bait them, but you're actually ugly, and the only good thing about you is your penis.
No.
Sometimes that's enough. Sometimes I see a dick and I'm like, I don't need you to do anything else but have that dick.
Yeah.
I want that dick.
How many times on Scruff or Grindr has there not even been a profile picture? And then you've gotten a direct message from them, and the first thing is just their dick.
Yep. Or okay, that's fine. I understand that. Not really. Don't do that. Like, be a little or whatever.
I mean, every once in a while, it's a real good dick.
Well,
so,
now they have those things like accepts NSFW's pictures, and you can say yes or no. So it's trying to. What I'm confused about is when people send me their buttholes.
No.
As like the first picture. Like I don't. Get to know me a little bit before you send me your dick. I get,
yeah,
butthole. Like, let's talk a little bit.
I mean, number one, rude. Number two, not the end I'm looking for.
Yes, this is wrong on all the levels that it could be. Okay, so the last thing I'll say, I was lying when I said the last thing was the last thing. Is gay baiting. So the thing we're talking about, where it's you're like trying to attract homos. The more positive word for that is, I don't know how to say it, Hoyay, Hoyay, which is short for homoeroticism. Yay. Hoyay. That is when there is homoerotic subtext to a movie or TV show or whatever.
Okay.
So like they're...
Like all of Teen Wolf.
God, Teen Wolf was like... Oh no, I didn't include it. It was almost one of my examples. Yeah. But... yeah, so that's kind of a lot of it is the subtext, the homoeroticism in gay baiting as well. So that's the flip side of it's the same thing, but it's like, cool, we like it. Hoye. So those are all the definitions I have.
Great. Let's get to the fun stuff where shirtless guys sell us stuff.
Ooh, okay. I love it. Are you talking about that?
Let's talk about queerbaiting.
Yeah.
Then. In the Patreon segment, I just talked about gay baiting as a political thing back in the day. But usually in the modern context, when we say gay baiting or queer baiting, we're talking about the phenomenon of fiction and entertainment in which the creators hint at, but then do not actually depict same-sex romance or other LGBTQ representation.
And it's, I mean, like, the more colloquial definition also seems to be like someone doing something specifically for the gays to get them interested in something. I mean, I guess like the subtext is kind of there, but I just feel like there's a little bit of a different, like those definitions don't totally capture the idea of like doing something specifically for gays to try to get their interest. And
Yep. Well, and something, I mean, language is messy and it's not up to me or anybody to decide words, what they mean, I guess. I can't say that. I'm a prescriptivist sometimes, I guess. But it's I'm learning, at least from what I was reading in preparation for this episode, that queerbaiting is not as broad as I thought it was.
Same.
That queerbaiting is specifically in media, in entertainment, either just hinting at or making jokes about a character's sexuality, or even like retconning their sexuality, a la that bitch that we can't say the name of anymore in Harry Potter, saying that Dumbledore was gay, when there's no indication of Dumbledore being gay in the actual books.
Yeah. You're speaking to, like, I was doing this same, like, almost philosophical brainstorming of what does it mean, and you're right that, like, I didn't realize how it was more narrow than I had thought in my head. But, like, I don't know if this is what you're going to get to. This is not necessarily exactly a segment that I had, but like, just a hot dude just being hot is not necessarily gay baiting.
Right. So it is pinkwashing. And pinkwashing is a term.
I don't know about that.
It is used to describe a variety of marketing and political strategies aimed at promoting products, countries, people, or entities through an appeal to gay friendliness in order to be perceived as progressive, modern, and tolerant. The phrase was originally coined in 1992. Okay, so I'll go into that in just a second.
Okay.
So pinkwashing is what I call gay baiting pretty regularly, right? It's the Nick Jonas in a Calvin Klein ad.
I wrote down, like, what is gay baiting? Is the general concept of Nick Jonas gay baiting? Like, because I just started listing examples and I was like, oh no, it's not just one thing.
And is it bad that I don't care?
Well, that's the thing. Like, yeah, there's the Calvin Klein ad. There's the, like, super sexy thing where he works out in Scream Queens. Like, he is like, and what I realized is I don't think he is, but.
Well, and it also sort of implies that it's corporate, right? Like, I think it's possible for an artist to pinkwash some of their material, but this is more. It feels more targeted or nefarious, right? It's. I want to sell more underwear, so I'm going to put Nick Jonas on the packaging. That's not necessarily Nick Jonas's fault, right? It's CK is doing that.
Calvin Klein, not Louis,
right?
I don't think I totally understand the difference between gay baiting and pinkwashing. Then is pinkwashing purely like corporate stuff to sell shit?
So gay baiting is inside of the art, right? TV shows, like rumors that they're going to have a gay character, like that's in that zone. Pinkwashing is anything, but especially advertising. arguably what we bitch about now in the community when it comes to pride is we're bitching about pink washing. We're saying, Bank of America, don't fucking pretend you give a good goddamn about gay people when the only thing you do is show up with a rainbow float during June.
Yeah. I think about the, and I don't know their actual beliefs, but what's the vodka? Absolute, who puts the rainbow on their thing, on their bottles during Pride. And it's like, well, do you actually support this? Or is it just, we have rainbows, so people are more likely to... it reminds me of actually related to kind of black protests and Black Lives Matter. Someone saying like, someone posted like, thank you for your infographic or your, post about Black Lives Matter. Now, please show me a picture of your executive board, which I like that idea of like, it's very easy to pink wash and not actually have the core. This is like... I think it's important to remember that companies' goals, a for-profit company's goal, is to maximize long-term shareholder value. That is the first day in finance. Like,
I thought I was hard before. Now I'm really erect. Thank you.
You love long-term corporate. Like, that is the goal of any for-profit company. Yeah. And you may say, oh, well, Tom's had a good, mission of trying to give away a shoot. Like, if it is for-profit, the goal is make money, and any other goals are secondary. So, yeah.
Interestingly enough, and then I'll end this segment. We can move on.
Sure.
Pinkwashing, the term pinkwashing originated from a non-gay context. I just assume pink. Oh, pink, that's a gay color. That's why they call it pinkwashing, or it's the pink triangle.
Oh, yeah. Is it women?
Breast cancer. So the phrase was originally coined in 1992 by Breast Cancer Action, which is an organization, and they were identifying companies that claimed to support breast cancer while actually profiting from their illness.
Like what?
So Breast Cancer Action. Yeah, it's a great question.
Mammogram machine makers?
Yeah.
No,
Well, it turned into something larger than that. In 2002, they launched the Think Before You Pink campaign because there was this period of time where the pink ribbon became so iconic that companies were literally doing nothing but putting a pink ribbon on their packaging.
Sorry, I can only think about like abstinence campaign saying
Think Before You Pink.
Okay. Yeah, that's the idea.
Or the gay version, Think Before You Stink. But their Think Before You Pink campaign, it was to encourage consumers to ask critical questions before buying pink ribbon products, and holds corporations accountable for pinkwashing. But then that maybe because of the color association, it seems likely to me that that's why it got attached to the similar marketing concept for gay people of looking nominally like you support the movement without actually doing anything but putting out a rainbow logo or whatever.
Yeah. This is actually, I'm thinking like, maybe because it's Pride Month and I'm thinking a lot about corporate involvement in Pride and kind of going back to the roots. I've seen a lot of people posting about going back to the roots of Pride, and it's a protest, and, how do companies and police fit in? And a lot of people say they don't. But part of my disillusionment of corporate kind of, I was in the past fiscally conservative, and that's based on the economic theory that perfect information, that's part of that economic theory, that it's this assumption in a vacuum that people have perfect information and will make their decisions with all the information. And that's just not true. And this is one of those things where
it also presumes that people will act in their own best interests. It does.
Yeah.
Which is not the case.
Hey, Trump supporter. Hey, log cabin Republicans. What's up?
You could have a booth at my place if you want.
Oh, I would. Sorry. Okay. No. The idea of perfect information, like the reason I thought of that is because like throwing a pride flag, throwing a pink ribbon on things, that gives like the idea that they support that cause. And then people I don't go and research the full details. I don't have perfect information. I have that surface level thing that they're presenting to me.
Yeah.
And in the past, I'm trying to be better at not making that assumption that it's true. But, a lot of people will assume that's the case.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I do.
Yeah.
It's easy sometimes to just say, "Oh, rainbow, it's great," and then go there or buy that.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, like, and there's also the part where it's like having a rainbow vodka is that's putting a rainbow vodka in a store that people see. So there's like a little bit good with that, but so it's a little bit messy, but
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot. One last term to throw in here is liberal homophobia. And the idea is that from a capitalism standpoint, liberal homophobia is the reason that we have to be careful in the marketplace in how we market things. And liberal homophobia is the acceptance of homosexuality as long as it remains hidden. The person that says, I'm down with gay people as long as I don't have to see them kissing.
Yeah.
That's...
You can do whatever you want in the privacy of your home kind of implies don't hold hands in public or whatever.
Correct. So...
that feels very turfy, which I don't like that word, but like it feels like, oh, well, I'm a feminist, so that feels very liberal, but...
Yep, absolutely. And I don't know, I'm on the fence about, maybe this is my fiscal conservatism coming through, I'm on the fence about whether that justifies it or not. Like, Target changing their logo to be a rainbow and no more in order to, like, that's going to please liberal homophobes. Like liberal homophobia, right? Because they get to say, oh, rainbow, it's pride. Yeah, I love gay people. Yeah. But they don't have to actually see it or confront it or internalize it or understand it.
Yeah. I mean, like putting out a statement about Black Lives Matter, that's very easy to put out your press release or your whatever. And you're like, yeah, we're down.
Yeah.
And then that's all you do. Or, I mean, the joke is always like during this month, during Pride Month, Happy Pride, Mike.
Happy Pride, Kyle.
I don't think we said that earlier this month, but yeah. I just realized, like, especially during the segment, we both talked a lot about capitalism and corporations, and at first I was like, oh, these things are just happen to remind me of that, but yeah, that is inherent in the discussion about gay baiting is making money. Like, what's coming, like what's happening behind the scenes, and a lot of it, the root of it is trying to make money off of it, and that's, or trying to get attention or promotion or publicity or whatever, but that's the kind of behind the scenes, what's happening and why are they doing that, and capitalism kind of relies on how they're presented.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to talk about kind of going along with what we're doing, trying to figure out the difference between like what is just like a hot dude and what is actual gay baiting. I wrote down a list of things that I thought are not gay baiting.
Ooh.
And things that I think are gay baiting.
Are we going to fight?
Probably.
Great.
So this is a list of things that I thought were not gay baiting.
Okay.
And I tried to include a variety just because I think, different types. So, I mean, so I did write down the general concept of Nick Jonas, which we've talked about now.
It's so yummy.
I went.
What's he up to these days, though? I haven't seen him in a while. Jonas, come back.
I mean, the Jonas Brothers released an album not too long ago.
Really?
It was it a year ago now?
It's amazing that I find him so fucking hot despite his music.
I love his music. You don't like the Joe Bros music?
I liked a couple of songs off of that one album that had
you liked
Close.
Yes,
and,
with Tuvlo.
Yeah, with Tuvlo, which I'm realizing now that was like she was carrying that song.
Do you like Tuvlo? Have I made you like her? Do you?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a super fan, and she's in that space of like I always really like her, and then I'm like, I ask somebody, who is this? And then they make judgy guys at me and they say, it's Tuvlo. And then,
am I that person every time?
Not every time.
90% is not every time. She is bisexual, I think, maybe. She's some kind of queer for sure. I love her so much. She's so good. Okay. So the first one I put on the list of not gay baiting is I've been listening to the Selena Gomez album Rare, which number one on the Billboard charts when it came out. There's
probably medium rare by now, but
You're kind of funny this episode. You should do this on every episode. Are you trying this time? Okay, so she has, I mean, a lot of their songs, gays like her in general, but she has a song Fun where she talks about, like, I'm not that into you, but you look like fun. Like that kind of, and that feels very gay to me. Like listening to that song, it's beyond just, hey, this is a Britney Spears album or a Kesha album. That's already Madonna album. That's kind of gay already. It feels very like, I want to have sexual fun with you. Wow, I made hooking up sound the least exciting as possible. I'd like to have sexual.
I would like to have intercourse with you, sir.
I would like to enjoy sexual relations with your penis. Even that would get me off right now. Anything. If you've been waiting to shoot your shot.
Oh, God, right in your eye.
If I was so lucky. The sweetest thing in porn. When a guy gets a facial and then the guy that is giving the facial like wipes the cum out of his eye. It's like, that's so romantic. It's just so sweet. Oh. Okay, Selena Gomez. Anyway, that song feels so specific and targeted to gay people or a gay experience. But it's a song about hooking up. It is not, she doesn't talk about being gay. She's not even hinting at being gay. It's just relatable to gay people. So this is where I'm trying to like figure out the line of it. So that I don't think is gay baiting.
Great.
When Britney and Madonna kissed, do you remember this? Their performance? This is like in the 90s or whatever?
So gratuitous. I don't think it was the 90s. I think it was 2000.
Oh, probably. I don't think Britney Spears was a thing until later.
That was in that time when they were, MTV in particular was pushing hard the idea that Madonna was passing the torch to Britney.
Yep.
That she was going to be the next Madonna because Madonna ordained it so.
And that moment they talked about like her. Okay, but the thing that they didn't show.
I was straight then and I was paying attention.
Because it's two chicks and that was hot.
Right, yeah.
What people don't know or don't realize is that Madonna actually kissed Christina Aguilera. But they cut away after the Britney Madonna kiss to Justin Timberlake to get his reaction. So people actually don't realize there were two lesbian kisses.
Interesting.
I guess it wasn't lesbian if they're not lesbians, but anyway,
okay.
So I'm saying I don't think that's gay bait. I think that is gratuitous is what you called it. I think that could be shock value, trying to get media riled up, whatever, but I don't think that's gay baiting.
Interesting. Okay.
Do you disagree?
We're approaching the line. I don't know where that line is. And the thing I don't understand, I guess, is if not gay baiting, then why? Right? Like, if...
Let me go to the next example.
Okay, great.
This I thought was like the epitome, like the benchmark for gay porn, like gay for pay.
Okay.
To me, that is not gay baiting. And before I would have said maybe or yes, I don't think it's gay baiting because they are in a gay porn and they know that porn is for you to look at and jerk off to. And some of them are even out about, I am not gay and I'm doing this, and we're like, cool, I'm gonna jerk off to you anyway. Like, to me, there is no malintent. There is no like, they are just, I'm a hot dude and we want to see it. Like, there's no lie or deceit, or even if they're pretending to be gay, they never said, I'm definitely gay, everybody watch me be gay and do gay stuff on this porn later. Like, to me, that's a good example of something people think is gay baiting, and I don't think it is.
Interesting. Okay. I think I disagree with that one.
Okay. Tell me. Talk to me.
From that person's perspective, they are thinking, there are gays in the world. I want their money. I'm going to expose myself and do gay shit so that they give me that money. And that feels problematic.
Oh, I didn't expect you to say problematic. Tell me more.
The ethics of that seem very questionable to me. Like,
why?
Because they're not gay.
But what does it matter? They're like, they're not it's almost like acting. Like, you're not actually the character. Like, just because you're not actually a Law and Order SVU detective doesn't mean Mariska Hargitay like needs to, like.
That's true, but we need queer actors to play queer roles, Kyle.
Sure. I never extended that to gay porn, actually, now that I think about it. I just don't think it is, because there's no intent to deceive, and we don't care. Like, it's the, like, also, oh, stepbrother, why are you touching my dick? Like, we don't think that's real. We don't think that, like, one of them is British. Like, you're not stepbrothers. I don't believe you. But we go along with it. So I just...
Yeah, only one of you is circumcised. What parents do that?
Yeah. They, like, the first time they were like, whoops, maybe not. Or they were like, let's just see what happens.
I don't know if this is on your list or not, but how about the opposite? What about, I've seen multiple porns where clearly gay actors, and I know that they're gay because I follow them on social media and they talk about their boyfriend all the time, playing straight in a porn. Is that gay
playing
baiting?
Straight in? Do you watch him like do it in her?
No.
Oh.
A gay actor pretending to be straight in a gay porn.
I'm so straight, I've never done anything before. Like, that, to me, that's the same thing. It's the
That's not gay baiting?
No.
Okay. Just asking.
I was like very offended by that. I don't know why. It's back off from my gay porn stars. Okay. So maybe the flip side will also help in this discussion. What I think
let's flip-flop.
Let's... God damn it. First one, Finn and Poe in Star Wars.
Yes. So I think that's the ex post facto kind of gay baiting.
Yes.
Right? Like, there was nothing explicitly gay about those characters in that movie. The actors said we played it gay, which I actually kind of find offensive now watching the movie, because it's like, if you were trying, you failed. and then, but to throw that out there to try to get gay people to watch this mega blockbuster movie is horseshit.
Exactly. Yes. 100%. Like, yeah. And I think that's like, so that's even on the extreme side to me. Having a actual gay character, but having a two-dimensional gay character also feels like gay baiting to me.
Yeah.
Having there are some examples I feel like I disagreed with. Like, just because you have a gay character in a show does not make it gay baiting. And
but what about tokenization?
And that's what I mean. I think in the same vein of like two-dimensional characters. Like,
I think it's automatically gay baiting.
Having a gay character?
Having a two-dimensional gay character.
Oh, yes.
If you just throw in, hey, this is Dave, he's gay, and then that's it.
Like, yep.
Like,
he's there to say, oh, girl, and that's it. Like, yeah. I think some things that I read said that, like, just making a character gay for no reason and not having, like, that's something I like. And I don't think that's gay baiting. I want more characters that just happen to be gay, and that doesn't have anything to do with their storyline.
Okay.
Like, why does the default need to be you're straight until proven gay? Like, I want characters to be randomly gay and not have a coming out storyline, and not have I fought with my dad storyline, and not have an HIV storyline. Like, they're just a gay spy.
Okay. I think that they need to do something other than just wear the label gay, though.
Oh, I don't.
Right?
Why do you think that? It's just weird because I really like and appreciate and want that representation, and that's just interesting. It's so different from you.
Maybe because it just feels like halfway or something. Like straight people literally have everything. Every relationship, every romance, every on-screen kiss, blah, blah, blah. And there are exceptions. I'm saying every in the, like, hyperbolic sense. Yeah. And, like, if you're just going to take a flat character and make them gay, or a complex character and make them gay but not see their gayness, why not take that extra step and make their sexuality actually part of the character and not just a moniker?
But see, you're saying like straight people have everything. Like, straight people also have straight characters that don't go around doing straight things.
That's
true. Just straight because they're straight.
That's
and again,
true.
because that's the default. So why do they get why do they get the default? Why can't some of them be gay?
That's true. I buy that.
Did I convince you?
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's the most I'm going to get out of you, which I'm very happy about. Okay, these are two more definitive examples I saw written about and I think are good kind of...
Please say James Franco. Please say James Franco.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Man, I don't care what he does. He can gay bait me so hard. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I want his brother.
Dave Franco?
Yeah.
Have you seen the video Go Fuck Yourself?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So great.
I've then backed up and then and then backed up and then backed up. It worked for me. Okay. The one is the 100. Have you heard of that show on the CW? I had never heard of this.
It's about the Greek warriors, right?
Yep. It's like after a third of them survived. No, it's CW show. I don't really know what it's about. So Lexa was a lesbian character. They touted themselves as being a very LGBT inclusive, progressive TV show, particularly because of her. They talked about the showrunners and everyone talked about her being in the finale of this one season.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out she was not in the finale. She got killed off. Oh, go back in time. This spoilers. Whoops. She was killed off.
If somebody having CW show The 100 ruined for them, if that's going to ruin their day, I don't care.
Your problems are... You're lucky to... Okay.
You're an unsalvageable human.
Burn. She was killed off mid-season. She was killed right... And it gets worse. That alone would have been why... They knew... the time that they were talking about on social media and promoting that she was in the finale, they knew she wasn't. They already filmed the thing where she was killed off. Mm-hmm. That alone would have been a good example. Much less... She was killed right after having sex with a woman. Mm-hmm. So there's that kill your gays idea, or the lesbians don't survive, particularly after they use the phrase consomme, which that felt gross, but
isn't that like a kind of soup?
I love it when it's chunky. And it wasn't even her standing up for someone, or it wasn't part of the storyline. There was just a random bullet that caught her and she died. So it was didn't even...
Weird.
So
why do that?
Yeah. So that was a weird one that then fans didn't like. And to me, that shows the intent behind it is really important, because the intent behind, they were pushing and promoting their LGBT friendliness and either lied, I forget if it was lied or just misconstrued or whatever the ending, mm-hmm. to get people to stick around and watch. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that feels like what gay baiting, a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Another example is, again, in a show I've never watched, Rizzoli and Isles. Have you seen it? Mm. Have you heard of it? Mm. Oh, I've at least heard of it.
But, what network? I don't even... I don't care.
Channel 4? I don't know. I have no idea. There was a BuzzFeed article by Sarah Carlin that said it's the gayest non-gay show on television.
Okay.
Which, James Barr, you should sue them for non-gay.
Yeah.
But it was this must-watch lesbian show with no actual lesbians, because the two had this weird kind of subtext of lesbianism that never actually appeared on screen. And what kind of put the nail in the vagina is on TV Guide, whoever plays Rizzoli, I don't know either of them, said that, quote, "Sometimes we'll do a take for that demo. I'll brush by her co-stars. I'll brush by her blouse or maybe linger for a moment. As long as we're not being accused of being homophobic, which is not in any way true and completely infuriating, I'm okay with it." So the idea of intentionally, this is almost the faux and pin. Nope. Finn and Poe. Mm-hmm, but a more extreme of I'm intentionally doing things on the screen to try to make us look more lesbian when we're not. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That to me is a classic example of gay baiting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll buy that.
Those are my examples.
I think they're good ones.
Thank you. I looked them up on the internet.
We covered a lot of ground that I was sort of maybe going to talk about. And that's okay. So I'll just boil this down. We have to talk about I Kissed a Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Gay baiting or no?
No.
No.
In fact, on my list of no's, realized I was talking a lot and still did, but that was on my list of no's.
Okay. Defend your answer.
Okay.
Because here, I'll the prosecution will go first. She's not bi. She wrote this song just to be salacious. She is using queer sexuality to sell records. The prosecution rests.
The prosecution's so tired it rests. I think I'm
talking about Katy Perry's song "I Kissed a Girl" too. I don't know if we said that at
all. Catherine Perry.
Catherine.
That's not. I worry that I'll say this. Like, there is the kind of performative aspect of female sexuality that has been studied and confirmed. It is a thing that women do.
Greater fluidity.
Sure. Yep. And actually, the data. I'm not going to go into all this. It's actually a thing that happens more often in men than we kind of realize. But there is like an aspect of female sexuality that can include things like making out with someone, even if you're not bi. So partly it's like speaks to that concept that I hope my boyfriend don't mind it. Like, you know, if you make out with another girl, but you're in a relationship, was that cheating or was it fun and fine? Like, so I think that song spoke to that concept, which at the time was probably newer or less discussed. Also, I don't think this is, for me, the similar thing of like actors. Like, I think you can be a character in your songs. I think you don't have to actually represent what your song is. Your song can be about a character that you're playing and a situation that's not real. And so she doesn't have to be bi to sing about having a boyfriend and kissing a girl.
That's interesting.
The defense takes a nap.
So when asked about her own sexuality, Perry told Santa Barbara magazine, quote, "I like to kiss boys, but there is no doubt in my mind if Angelina Jolie or Giselle Bündchen came a-callin', who wouldn't pucker up?" Perry told The New Gay, another publication, that she had never actually kissed a girl and is heterosexual. She is quoted as saying, quote, "Yeah, it's fantasy. It's a song about curiosity."
Yeah.
However, in a separate interview in 2010, Perry stated to a female interviewer that she has kissed several girls. Oh. Perry later admitted to Vanity Fair in early of May 2011 that the reason she did not discuss it honestly at first was because a couple of sleazy male journalists made her uncomfortable. Quote, "So I said no, I hadn't experienced it, even though I had, because I didn't like where the guys were taking the interviews." Have I talked very much about how much I fucking hate Katy Perry?
I don't think so. Now is the floor is yours.
For the same reason that I hate Taylor Swift. Like, I'm not buying any of it. I think it's just cold, calculated, packaged shittiness, and it really, I don't know. I'm not buying it.
Yeah. I was going to say something that was going to be real smart. Okay.
In a February of 2018 online Glamour article, Perry expressed the following about the song. Quote, "We've really changed conversationally in the past 10 years. We've come a long way. Bisexuality wasn't as talked about back then, or any type of fluidity. If I had to write that song again, I probably would make an edit on it. Lyrically, it has a couple of stereotypes in it. Your mind changes so much in 10 years, and you grow so much. What's true for you can evolve."
Okay, what I just realized that I'm very intelligent for thinking of is that part of the difficulty in this is a lot of it comes down to intent, which you can't always see. I think some of the examples I gave were like, we specifically lied about a thing. Like, so clearly the intent was to deceive. So I think I Kissed a Girl could go one of two ways. just like bisexuals. It could be an exploration of curiosity in female sexuality, and if that was an authentic. Did she really write that song? This is part of the packaging that I don't believe she writes her own songs, but whatever.
This is one of those situations where there's 4 songwriters and 2 producers on the credits. Okay. So no, she did not.
Okay. Yeah. But if whoever wrote the song is actually exploring that concept, that's very different than someone who intentionally, specifically writes a song to pander to gay audiences to sell records. Yeah. And it's hard to know. And maybe it's actually a little bit of both. So does that make it? Yeah. Maybe I like in that middle ground where I don't know for sure. I'm defaulting to no, it's not until proven gay baiting, which may not be. I guess I have a high bar for what is considered gay baiting. Yeah. Okay.
I'll buy that. Yeah. I'll buy that. Do you have more?
Okay. Well, since I mentioned it, I'll just go ahead and throw this out there. We don't have to talk about it, but, there's a study by Dr. Eric, who I'm not going to call Derek Anderson, who usually researched sports and masculinity, who someone asked about if he knew about gay chicken. Mm-hmm. Where like dudes get closer and closer and closer to kissing, and then like whoever.
Oh, I thought gay chicken was you put a hand on their knee and then you move up towards their dick.
Mostly that's a thing, but mostly I've seen it in terms of making out. You lean your heads closer and closer together until like.
Mine involves heads too.
That's true. There's something like in the UK they had to stop playing it because everyone would just kiss. Like there was no like. Anyway, but he did a study of 145 students and 89% said they were happy to kiss a man on the lips in friendship. And 40% said they had engaged in sustained kissing for either shock value or for a laugh.
God bless America.
And God bless straight dudes kissing. Okay, that's the last thing I wanted to throw out there. Okay.
Did we do it?
Yeah. Tipsy McStuff. Well, let us know if we did it.
Yeah,
Tipsy.
You paid for this shit.
Yeah, I hope we did it. Or whatever.
Make out with me.
Okay.
Should we take a break?
Let's take a break.
And Arthur.
This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break.
Are we back?
Oh, we're back.
We're back.
You did that so coyly. I didn't see it coming. We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest, but first, our website is gayishpodcast.com.
Our social media, which we're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter.
Your mom.
We're on your mom. Watch out. What is it? Something in the pink?
2 in the pink and 1 in the steak?
Oh, no. What did we just say before? Avoid the pink?
Oh, yeah. I
don't know.
Think before you pink.
I don't know why. Okay. At Gayish Podcast. And we have like a Facebook group, which is cool. And we have a Discord, which is cool.
Yeah.
So check those out too.
Our hotline, you can send us text messages or leave us voicemails, is 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply.
And our email is gayishpodcast@gmail.com.
Our physical address is P.O. Box 19882, Seattle, Washington, 98109.
Let's get physical.
Also, while you're talking about Discord, you can get access via our Discord or our Facebook group. But we actually have so many gamers with a Y that we now have a dedicated Minecraft server.
With a Y?
Yeah. Bitch. We have a dedicated Minecraft server and a dedicated Terraria server.
Wow, I knew about World of Warcraft. I didn't know those other things.
Yep. And then we play World of Warcraft as a guild on Wednesday nights. And it made me realize, like, in case people need that extra incentive, because I'm awesome, you should know. You can voice chat with me on Discord because we play, like we talk, we bullshit while we're playing.
And are there enough spots in your guild that anyone can? I don't know how it works.
Well, we're gonna have to fix that.
Oh yeah, we at some point I'm gonna play and we're gonna like video my first World of Warcraft.
You're gonna love it,
but I don't know. I remember when it was in like high school. I played Halo for the first time, and I just fell off whatever plane or starship we were on, and then I was like, "That's it." Anyway, Gayest and Straightest? Or
no,
you have something else?
I do have a couple of other things. The 4 R's: rate, review, subscribe, and recommend.
Oh yeah, you told me right before this that we got a shitty review.
We got a shitter review.
So if you like
we need
us,
at least 3 more to cancel it out.
Are we still at a 4.5?
I don't know.
It doesn't.
And the last thing for scheduling. So in just a couple of days after this airs, we are doing a live stream on Saturday, June 27th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. You can catch that on Facebook Live if you want the video feed via our Facebook page, or you can get the audio on pride48.com because this weekend is Pride 48 live streaming weekend. Gayish, as well as many, I think 29 shows will be scheduled that whole weekend. So if you want to hear other queer podcasters and other great shows, this is the weekend to do it. Again, pride48.com.
Yep. Yeah. We've done this. This will be the 3rd year that we've done this. So, it's really cool to have like just back to back so many, queer podcasts, and they have their own discussion group that everyone logs in and talks about things. And so check that out.
Which is also on Discord. They've moved to Discord for their chat functions. So Discord's the place to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's do our Gayest and Straightest.
Okay, cool.
I went first last time.
Oh, me. Okay. So my straightest is my shopping list. I think my food shopping list, grocery list. I'm just going to read you the first few.
Oh, God. Okay.
Sour cream, steak, ham, pizza, spaghetti, butter. Those are the top things on my list.
Ham.
Like that just, to me, all those things do not feel like so many carbs, so many meat. Like that just...
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
The fact that you have a shopping list at all.
I know, right? It's not like frozen pizza, another frozen pizza. My gayest. I'm so excited about this one. Mm-hmm. My gayest is, I saw a dude like getting buzzed into my building, mm-hmm. Called into the call box. And
Did you want to buzz him? Okay.
But I just, in my mind, I was like, it was like 2 a.m., which is usually when I take my dog for his like last outing of the night. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you're here for a hookup. But I didn't know. So like, he got buzzed in and then I walked in, like I waited, then I went in behind him. We both were on the elevator together and I was like, here. And then I kind of like, I think I was like sly about it, like saw on his phone, the grinder, like you could tell he was not sure which floor to push.
Yep.
I ended up seeing him up being on grinder and I just wanted to be like, have fun. Like, I hope, I just wanted to be like, I support you. Like, I get it and go do it. Yep. But like, obviously I didn't because that's weird. But just the fact that I knew that this was a grinder hookup, that's my gayest. Yeah,
all of the pieces are coming together.
Yep, exactly.
It's very clear what's happening. Yep, for
Remember
sure.
when we were just recently on that Patreon call and someone's grinder notification went off?
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Apparently that turned into an actual date.
Shut the fuck
They're
up.
dating.
Dating?
Yeah.
Wow, good work. If you're a Patreon member, you're guaranteed to get a date. Cool.
The straightest thing about me this week is just talking to my fraternity brothers. I had a conference call this week to meet a bunch of new staff that just started, and because I'm a district governor, so I have like
power.
And so there's new guys that are coming on staff or that are just starting to work in my district, and we had a conference call to talk, and I heard it. I heard myself being just so straight. And
do you have an example of how you talked?
Oh God. No.
Okay.
No. I can't. I don't think I can.
You can't bust it out.
It just happens accidentally, you know. Accidentally. It happens accidentally. Okay. But then the gayest thing about me this week is talking to my fraternity brothers. We have a gay fraternity brother group on Facebook. It's like 1,000 of us.
Wow.
And
hey, Sig Eps.
Hey, Sig Eps. Every Friday during quarantine, we've had a happy hour, and it's just the cattiest, bitchiest, gayest stuff. Like, I heard one of our brothers that comes to the happy hour was telling us about how he and this dude were trying to set some kind of record, and he got railed 28 times in 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, and then there was a round of applause.
Good for him.
Yeah. Anyway.
I haven't railed myself 28 times.
True story.
Do you have a listeners?
I do. This week's listeners, Gayest and Straightest, is from Urk from Germany. He said, if I can't say that, it's Chris from Germany.
Well,
his Gayest is painting my nails black with holographic glitter on top.
cute.
His Straightest is, my husband and I bought the same sweater. We're becoming an old straight couple.
Like the accidental twinning of straight couples.
Yeah. And there's something about like matching sweater shopping that just says...
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that. I was going to say, give me your gay card, but we don't say that.
No, we don't say that.
So that's it. Thank you to Tipsy McStumbles for being hot and suggesting this episode.
Thank you to the general concept of Nick Jonas.
Yes. He's third on my list.
Oh, shut up. I got there.
And thank you to Arthur, whoever he is.
I've been getting very familiar with him.
So that's it. This has been Gayish. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch, be fabulous, be you.
See you next week.
Are we gay baiting?
Why?
I don't know. We're gay.
Oh, and baiting a lot.